Good morning. Good morning. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all ain't gonna y'all ain't gonna be able to get enough of me with these Whoopi Goldberg the View blouses on. I got like four of these outfits off of Instagram. Y'all know them look. I should have ironed this before I came on. I'm right here looking like somebody butch lesbian auntie with this gaudy ass jewelry on and this flowy ass Clark Sisters reunion album blouse I got on. I got it on, no bitch. I got it on, honey. All I can do is damn make it enough. Okay. That's all I'm doing. My little Clark Sisters reunion album blouse. I got on, honey, tried to match it to the back and throw on some more QVC jewelry around the neck. I promise y'all I look like somebody goddamn choir director right now, and I'm so embarrassed. I don't even know how I'm finna get through the rest of this damn show. Sitting up here looking like I play the piano. Maybe wait a minute. Maybe if I take the damn necklace off. Wait, I really do look like my name, Miss Nancy. Wait a minute. Let me take. Let me take. Maybe if I take the necklace off. Yeah, I think taking the necklace off help it look a little better or whatever. Nevertheless, y'all, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We having a real good Tuesday. I'm feeling real good, feeling real great. Got my blouse on and shit, matching the background. Yeah, this don't this don't translate on camera well. It really don't. It's really giving it's really giving a sissy Houston tease. It's giving a sissy. It really look like I'm finna go somewhere and conduct the damn choir. Nevertheless, it's too late for me to change the shit. How y'all doing tonight? We got a pretty good show lined up. Is it me or the shows have just really been good lately, y'all? Like I really think I have found my stride with the topics. Like we've been really getting into some very good intellectual, thought provoking topics. And I must say, I am really pleased with the direction of my content as of lately. If I'm allowed to pat my own self on the bike. Really quickly, guys, before we just go ahead and get into it, don't forget, y'all, go to My Tea Hemp and Herbs. Please don't do like the 80-something-year-old lady that wrote into me did and eat three of the damn things and light the dad on my watch. But go use promo code Funky15 to go down there and get all your teas and honeys and whatnot. I'm so excited because my sister and my cousin and everybody is coming into town next week. And I mean next month at the end of the month. And I've got enough honey. But we gonna barbecue us some wings and put that reefer honey on it, and we gonna sit back in the pool and we gonna have us a real good time and all that good stuff. And if y'all want to feel the same thing that I be feeling in between my you know what and you know where else, do you want to go to My Tea Hemp and Herbs and get what you got? Secondly, guys, we got 6 VIP tickets left. And let me just check it now and make sure nothing has changed. If you are interested in coming to Down to the Bar, New Orleans, yep, we have 6 VIP tickets left. 24 of the 30 have sold. We have 6 VIP tickets left. VIP gets you a private 1-hour sit down dinner with me, intimate, private. We gonna fool la la, slap 5, drink, cry, go off on people, take pictures, call your mama on FaceTime, call your grandma, call your coworker. We gonna do all that good stuff. As well, it comes along with some premium seating inside of the party, some gift bags, and some other incentives. Not to mention, if you are interested in being a potential sponsor for Down to the Bar New Essence Festival, feel free to email me at funky.neva@funky.neva.com, and I will get all of that over to Michelle to get you so y'all can figure it out. Last but not least, before we get this thing started, I went out last night. A friend of mine, a new friend of mine by the name of Ron Jones, shouts out to Ron. Ron it was his birthday. And we went and celebrated Ron's birthday. I met Ron through Quad. And we went and celebrated Ron's birthday after that. And then this is for everybody in Atlanta. When we left going out to eat, we went down to the Omnia Room. Shout out to Big Pat, one of the owners at the Omnia Room in Atlanta. Let me tell y'all something about this place. Now, y'all know I am not no club person no more. You know, all the lounges don't turn into ghetto hookah traps, and they knock you over the head for parking. They knock you over the head for entry fee. They knock you over the head for drinks. When we left dinner last night, we went to Martini Mondays, guys, down at the Omnia Room. And let me tell y'all something. This is like my 5th or 6th time going to the Omnia Room, and I love everything about this place. It is in Sandy Springs off Roswell Road, located right next to Chef Rob's. I know those of y'all in Atlanta, y'all know about Chef Rob. But let me tell you what makes the Omnia Room super special and why I'm making it my business to tell y'all about it. Free parking. Okay, y'all know everywhere in Atlanta, they always trying to bullshit you and nickel and dime you, and you out of $40 before you even walk into the establishment. It is free parking, and there is ample parking in this huge parking lot. There is no cover charge, baby. You can walk right on in. You can get you a little piece of section, sit up against the wall, or you can sit in the middle, or you can go straight to the bar, and the drinks are reasonably priced, okay? Y'all grown and sexy. No riffraff, no overly aggressive security patting you down and all that type of crazy shit. The doorman got an attitude, don't fucked up your vibe before you even walk in. The Omnia Room is where you want to be. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Wednesday night is my favorite night. They have R&B night on Wednesday, and baby, I can't think of the DJ's name right now. Forgive me, but when I tell you, baby, that DJ be in there playing some old nasty music, bitch. That music be so goddamn nasty on Wednesdays. Wednesday night, you definitely want to be there. And then last night was my first time going to Martini Mondays, and it was jumping to $5 martinis on special. I'm telling y'all, the Omnia Room is where you want to be. If you are grown, sophisticated, ladies, the niggas be in there, bitch. They be in there. The ones with money too. The niggas be in there. And fellas, the ladies be in there in droves too. It is a really good time. So for those of you guys who are in Atlanta and you're looking for somewhere grown and sexy to go with all that typical Atlanta bullshit and price gouging, then the Omnia Room is where you want to be. I see y'all hoes up there tomorrow. If anybody, if y'all want to go tomorrow, y'all get dressed. And when we get off the show, we're going to go straight up there to the Omnia Room. How about that? All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this show started. Y'all want this party started right? Or do y'all want this party started quickly? Ooh, that Publix lemonade is so good. This is a rollover story from yesterday that I want to bring to you guys. Man who plans honeymoon at Trump Hotel for his Trump supporting wife gets detained by ICE. Oh, my Lord. Where do we start? Brian Jose Rojas Galofre had big plans to treat his wife to an unforgettable honeymoon, hoping to soak up some sun at the beach for the first time and maybe even catch a glimpse of President Donald Trump, whom he admires. But their trip ended. Their trip from Wisconsin to Miami on January 25th took a dark turn. Rojas, a Venezuelan immigrant with a wife and young kids who are U.S. citizens, found himself in hot water after a stop at a security checkpoint near the Trump Hotel. He ended spending up over 3 months in ICE custody in Florida, facing some serious allegations about gang ties. Rojas was terrified of being sent back to El Salvador, and in the chaos, he lost his steady job and work permit. Now the family is struggling. They've lost their home, car, and drained Rojas's 401k and racked up debt. Now, there was a video going around of this, and the wife was speaking, and here is what I want to say. To certain factions of the Latino Hispanic community, y'all literally have to be some of the dumbest sons of bitches that ever walked the face of the planet. I do not understand. I do not for the life of me understand the psychology of any person who holds in high regard somebody who has shown you time and time again that they do not like your kind. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I have a theory here. Okay. And I may be wrong. But I was thinking to myself, with all of the ICE raids, all of the not so fond things this man has had to say directly and indirectly about the Latino community, all of the repealing of rights, what would make a Latino person still be like, we love Donald Trump. We love Donald Trump. You see on the news that he is sending your kind back. He is ripping your kind, the families apart. They're raping your kind, the little girls and the women in the prison. They're doing all of these atrocious things to your kind. And you still find a way to say, I love Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. I want to go to the Trump hotel. You had your head so far up that man's ass that you risked your freedom and lost everything. Now, here is part of what I suspect, and I may be wrong. Here is part of what I suspect. Number one, that white adjacency is eating y'all ass the fuck up. That's number one. But number two, I theorize that many of these people are undesirables where they come from. Okay? Follow me here. Many of these people are undesirables where they come from. Then they come over to America and they realize, oh, if we latch on to white people, we get to look down on these people over here, meaning black people, and they're the new undesirables. And this man is preaching rhetoric against those undesirables. And it makes me feel good that I get to now come to this country and not be one of the undesirables. So they think. And here it is. You've got a big government saying the blacks are the undesirables. And I think it makes them feel good to say, ooh, at least I know black. At least I know black. Let me go sign up with the people who are pointing the fingers at the blacks, not realizing that they pointing the same finger at you too. I think that's the thing that's so confusing for some of them. They let that white adjacency fool them. And I'll be very honest. When you barely speaking that English, you ain't white adjacent. You're not white adjacent when you barely speaking in the English. You're not even white adjacent. So I don't know what. You one of them people that don't believe fat meat greasy. You don't believe the stove is hot. And I just find it to be poetic justice that you went to honeymoon at a place owned by a man that doesn't like you and you end up getting detained. The second thing that I want to know, and I may never have the answer to, is what is it that you guys are admiring? I'm curious to know, what is it with Donald Trump they're admiring and holding in such high regard? Or is it simply, and now that I'm thinking out loud, I think the answer may simply be, my skin is not black, and when you come to America, assimilate with white people, and this is what white people do. I really think that that's really how simplified the logic is in their head. They know for a fact you don't want to be black, and when you get to America, assimilate with the white people, and they assume that this is what the white people is doing. So despite their own whatever, and the fact that, again, y'all think y'all white adjacent, but y'all not. And I call y'all anti-intellectual because I just don't understand why you continue to do this. And y'all think that y'all are going to be the exception to the rule. He/they, meaning like the MAGA racists, they don't like y'all either. When are y'all going to realize that? And you don't lost your job. You don't lost your work permit. You don't drained your 401k, and you don't left your family in a very vulnerable position due to self-hate and whatever other nonsensical bullshit that you're going through. Oh, well. Moving right along to somebody else that doesn't make any sense to me. And honestly and truthfully, I think Stephen A. Smith is plagued with the same issue that I just spoke about certain members of the Latino community having. Days after Donald Trump called him a low IQ individual, Stephen A. Smith still says Trump is an upgrade over Joe Biden on alertness. Stephen A. Smith spent the last week trading shots with Donald Trump, who called him a low IQ individual and dumb as a rock, and then went on CNN and still managed to hand the man a compliment. Asked whether Trump, who just turned 80, is sharp enough to keep doing the job, the ESPN star said he would not associate the word sharp with Trump before pivoting to praise him as more alert than Joe Biden. He is currently an upgrade from what we were seeing with Joe Biden in terms of alertness, Smith said, adding that he is not there to insult Trump. For a lot of people watching, that was the part that did not sit right. This is the same Trump who only days earlier had publicly torched Smith's intelligence and questioned whether he had the aptitude to do anything in politics. So here is the thing with Stephen A. Smith, guys. Stephen A. Smith has no tribe to return to. So he got to stay over there. Stephen A. Smith has no tribe to return to. He's already alienated himself from the greater Black community as well as the Democratic Party. Stephen A. Smith knows undoubtedly he's not welcomed back over here. He also knows that it's gotten a little uncomfortable over there where he's at, but ego and pride are going to have him to continue digging his heels in the wrong direction. See, for Stephen A. Smith to course correct now would be to admit out loud that I was wrong all this time. And honestly and truthfully, that ego of his is just not going to allow him to do that. And so what do people do? What I said, instead of just saying I stand corrected, they double down on dumb. I also think that much like many Black men that get into a lot of money, Kevin Hart's and the Jay-Z's of the world, they are blinded by the illusion of having a seat at the table. And I think that because Stephen A. Smith is somewhat far removed from the everyday trials and tribulations of the working class Black person or the working class poor Black person, he's taking on a lot of their ideologies, thinking that he's one of them, and he's not. I don't, for the life of me, and I am all for Black people not being a monolith and having their own opinions about whatever they want to have their own opinions about. But there's just no world in 2026 where no reasonable person can see that Donald Trump is just not fond of Black people. The current Republican Party is not fond of Black people. This is the first time in a whole bunch of years that there is nobody Black. There is nobody Black in a position of power in the Republican Party. Like, come on. But yet, somehow or another, you've still been convinced that that is where you want to be. And I'm here to tell you, and I said this first, and I'm going to say this with my whole chest, and God knows I am so tired of Funky Dineva against straight Black men. I'm so tired of that conversation, and I'm not trying to start anything, but I am going to say this. There are so many Black men, and Van Latham said it best. I saw it on his podcast today. There are so many Black men that don't want to be free, and they don't want freedom for all. They want to be white. And I have always said, and I'm going to stand by this, and I know this going to cause all types of shit on the internet. The worst thing you could ever do is let a Black man through the door first. The worst thing we could ever do is let a Black man through the door first. Because if you let a nigga through the door first, he going to close it for all the rest of us. He going to close it for women. He going to close it for gays. He going to close it for the trans. Some, not all, because more of these Negroes are concerned or more concerned with being white than they are freedom and liberation. And listen, I'm not knocking it. We don't have the time to delve into it right now. The sick, twisted psychology between Black men and white men, with them being our oppressors for so long, and with Black men not having any power anywhere else in the world except the streets. So subconsciously, many of us have this unquenchable thirst to compete with the white man, to beat the white man, to be like the white man. But I promise you, you let a nigga through the door first, he'll close it for everybody behind them, because they're more concerned with being white than they are being free. One more time, so nobody misquotes me. If you let a nigga through the door first, he gonna close it for everybody behind him, because they are more concerned with being white being like the white man, wanting the power of the white man than they are the freedom for the rest of us. They're going to get in there and they're going to mimic. You let a nigga through the door first, they going to mimic all of the behaviors and attitudes of the white men in power that they have subconsciously been fighting to be for so long. And I say that with my whole chest. Worst thing we can ever do is let a nigga through the door first. Women for all. You better put a woman in there. You better put a woman. You better put a woman. Because you get the wrong Negro in there. And again, I hate that we live in a world where we even have to do this. Some, not all. Before y'all make y'all internet think pieces, remember to put in this part, bitch. Some, not all. There are some solid black men out there. There's some super solid black brothers out there. And I ain't talking about them. If it don't apply, let it fly. But there is a vast majority of black men. You let their motherfucking ass through the door first, they're going to close it for everybody behind them. And I mean what I said. Moving right along, guys. Diddy might be getting out of jail sooner than we think. Ooh, that lemonade good. Diddy's release date has been adjusted by a few months once again. The latest record on the Federal Bureau of Prisons website shows February 23rd of 2028. This is not the first time his release date has been adjusted. His previous release dates were May 28th and June 28th before being pushed to April 28th. The Bureau of Prisons has not publicly explained the latest change in the release date. It was mentioned that he's been participating in drug abuse rehabilitation program while serving his time. Last December, Diddy's legal team appealed his conviction and sentences, which are still pending. The mogul is currently serving a 50-month sentence after being convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges. Honestly and truthfully, Diddy, at this point, just sit your damn ass down and do your time. At this point, just sit your ass down and do your time. Honestly and truthfully, we're already in 2026. 2028 will be here before you know it. And then hopefully Diddy will be able to put all of this behind him. Now, here is my thing. One of two things are going to happen. Either Diddy is going to get out and him being set free is going to feed the beast. Oh, I can't be held down. They tried to hold me down, but I'm back, baby. One of two things is going to happen. It's going to feed the beast, or he's going to come back a humbled and a changed man. I hope for the life of me that he comes back a changed man, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think 2 or 3 50 months in prison is enough to undo 20-something years of being. I do not believe that 50 months of prison is enough to undo over 20 years of being away. I also think the human experience is like a rubber band or a scrunchie, right? Like once you stretch it to this, it's hard to go back to this. Once you stretch it to this, so what do I mean by that? I'm going to use a bit of my personal life as an example. When I was in college, I started participating in foursomes. And then, when I got out of college and moved to Atlanta, I started participating in group sex and sometimes going to sex parties. And I liked it, right? But then it got to a point where all I wanted to do was have threesomes and foursomes. Like if I had the opportunity to just have sex one-on-one with somebody, I just wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? And we would be on the pursuit of finding more people to join in. And finally, I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with myself that went like you're going off the deep end. And for me, I'm just using me as an example. It was the same thing when you add drugs and cocaine and alcohol to the situation. It was like it got to a place where I only used to want to have sex while I was drunk and high. Right? It was like If I couldn't have sex without the presence of coke and alcohol, I did not want to do it. That was boring to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it took a while for me to recondition my mind and phase all of that out. And so I'm just speaking from personal experience. Once you've experienced sex on level 1000, you can't go back to having sex on level 50. You know what I'm saying? And I just think Diddy has lived such a deviant and extravagant life when it comes to sex and partying and all of these different things. It is very hard to go from having the type of sex that he was having to just going back and just having regular old sex. That shit is boring. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that also translates to every aspect of Diddy's life. He's used to being in control. He's used to being in power. He's used to the finer things in life. He's used to luxury. Do y'all honestly think after 50 months, a bitch is going to be that rehabilitated and that reformed and that they're just going to come back and they're going to operate the same way the librarian and the damn and the high school basketball coach do? No, I think there's a part of that man that's going to go back to having that king complex that he's got and is going to find a way to just be a bit more stealth with it. That's just my opinion, but I'm not a clairvoyant or anything. I hope that he comes back a reformed man, but I'm gonna be very honest with you. I highly doubt it. Speaking of somebody who needs to be reformed, Mystical. Mystical gets a 20-year sentence after pleading guilty to a 2022 rape. 55-year-old Mystical, whose real name is Michael Tyler, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to a third-degree rape stemming from a 2022 incident at his Louisiana home. The victim recalls being choked and having her hair pulled. Then she pushed for the maximum sentence. He was first arrested on first-degree rape, simple criminal damage to property, domestic abuse, battery by strangulation, simple battery, and false imprisonment in the assault, and was facing a possible life sentence. He pled guilty to the lesser charge in March. After his plea, he filed a motion to withdraw it, claiming he was under emotional distress and pressure, which affected his ability to make an informed decision. He was accused of not only raping the victim, but also robbing her, taking her keys and her phone, forcing her to send him money via Cash App before letting her leave. Guys, I am not attempting to explain Mystical's behavior away, but I think that this is somebody who has a sick, infected mind. Now, we're not going to pretend like we're not aware that Mystical got in trouble for rape once before, went to prison for that, and then you got out and did the exact same thing. That says to me somebody has a defective mind. It says to me somebody has a defective mind. When you are Mystical, regardless of how washed up you may have been or how much money or how broke you may be, you're still Mystical. You can walk up and down any strip plaza, strip mall, and get somebody to give you a little punani. Okay. Now it might be a little piece of Family Dollar piece of fish. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little Dollar General piece of fish. You know what I'm saying? You can go do a nightclub. You can go do a nightclub walkthrough in Valdosta, Birmingham, Jackson, Tunica. And they're going to give you some coochie in the bathroom. They're going to give you some coochie down to the parking lot. They're going to give you some coochie in the back where they fry chicken at. That's what they do down to these clubs. They give out coochie. Okay? Hoochie coochie, good coochie, itchy gitchy yaya coochie, any type of coochie you want. You could have went to the club and just said, I'm Mystical. It might have been some fat, unattractive coochie, but it would have been some free coochie. The moral of the story is, men like Mystical could have went down to Memphis and got some coochie at a club, and yet you just still feel the need to choke and strangle and beat and control and take people money. Mystical, you could have went, if I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, you could have went and got a lonely fat bitch and got her coochie, made that whole cook and give you her paycheck. You're Mystical. So I'm just not understanding why you got to rape, take, pillage, and plunder in between somebody's legs and in their pocketbook that you don't end up in prison. Ask yourselves, that coochie that you got damn sure wasn't worth 20 years, and however much money she was able to give you on Cash App could not have been worth you going to prison for 20 years. And that is how you know people like Mystical have a defective mind. You got a defective mind. And people always say, somebody say, it's not about coochie. It's about power and dominance. I completely understand that too. I completely understand that. I watched enough Law and Order. I get all of that. But it's like at a certain point, your rational mind has to override your deviant mind. Okay? Your rational mind has to override your deviant mind. I definitely think, well, I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody. I will speak for myself. I got a little bit of deviant in me. Now, it ain't nothing illegal, and I ain't finna tell y'all what all my business is. Well, I gave y'all some of it with the sex parties and the foursomes. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of deviant in me. I got some things